Drinking and driving in Iowa. Those corn huskers, man, they didn't disappoint. I saw a lot of beer getting drunk there. Every time that they showed the crowd, they were just pounding them Busch Lights and all that other Midwest beer. I really wanted to join them. The track looked like it sucked, but the vibes around it seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. It was a very exciting race, and I was not really expecting that for the first Iowa race there in 20 years, first NASCAR series race, Cup series. And they had a lot of cool cars. A lot of corn themed cars. The Busch Light car, real
Yeah,
cool.
and like shouting out all the farmers and stuff. Yeah, that's like the true American race right there. I think if they can figure out their track, which they have to. I actually didn't look at the schedule yet for next year. I don't know if it's on there, but I think it is.
It's
Um,
not official yet, but I do anticipate them going back there next year.
yeah, that would be good because I think that if the track is paved, that's going to be a really fun race and one that I might even try to go to. I don't know, like something new like that. That sounds awesome to me. The short track in the Midwest. Oh,
Yeah,
350 laps.
definitely makes me
Yeah.
want to join Farmers Only, but I would definitely go to that. That's a NASCAR event,
Yeah.
Only real fans, rednecks will go to that race, and I guarantee that tailgating atmosphere is absolutely electric.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely had some tire troubles just because of going on those uneven surfaces. Once they got rolling, they did figure out how that track was gonna work out, and, so this race wasn't a wash, like, when I first saw the broadcast start and they were showing the gaps in the different pavement, it's like, at least they're drunk. But, but now, I could say that it did seem like a pretty good race, and like you said, it was an exciting one, and we have our 10th automatic bid to the playoffs. Ryan Blaney gets it done, and now he has a chance to go back-to-back in the Cup Series championship. So, that just
Yep,
takes us
another
down to
Ford
only
gets the
6.
win.
Only 6 drivers are left, like 6 spots in the playoff standings, and I think there has to be some nerves here. Look at Bubba, look at Logano, look at Kyle Busch, even Bowman. I mean, I think we talked about it last time or maybe 2 episodes ago about how we think that Bowman probably still has a chance on points, but holy shit, like, I mean, there's not many spots.
Yeah, and Bowman's having a really good season too, and it's a shame he's right on the edge there. And you alluded to Kyle Busch; he can't finish a race either. Maybe he'll eventually get a win. But
Yeah,
you called it last week, Ryan Blaney. The Ford's looking good. I had Logano over Blaney last week, and you were pretty adamant about Blaney over Logano, and you were right. Logano did finish sixth, I will say. So two very strong showings for those two Fords. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, finally another Ford breaks through.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of running out of gas and all the drama he's had, really slow beginning of the year, but then he's won at this particular track in the ARCA series. Yeah, I was high on him, and he did come through, which was pretty freaking sweet. But let's go to what I think is really the headliner here in this race was oh, all right, fine. Before we break it down, let's take a shot together
We
because
have to
we
drink and
haven't been
drive
together in
together.
a while. I
It
was just
has
out
been.
on vacation, missed you out there. I invited you to the beach, but you didn't come.
Yeah, I live at one, so that's fine.
That's true. But what are you gonna have?
I got this Smirnoff Peach Lemonade Shooter.
That sounds like
This
you
is from
are.
Easter, the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, I
That's
have
actually a
about
great idea.
30 of them.
I'm gonna have a Canadian maple whiskey.
Nice. In
Mm,
honor of the Stanley Cup Finals,
that's
you got
true. Yeah,
Edmonton,
they are Edmonton and
Florida
the
Panthers.
Panthers. I think it's 3-1. They forced a game 4, so that's pretty freaking sweet. But I think that there's no way that Edmonton ekes out another one. Um, I think that's basically over. But cheers, brother. This is a NASCAR lifestyle podcast. That's about drinking. Let's get drunk.
Let's do it.
Whew, that's delicious.
Yee, dog.
Ooh.
That was much
It
worse.
came back on me.
The peach flavor was worse than the liquor flavor.
Sorry about that. My phone's blowing up. All my ladies. No,
Oh yeah,
not
all of
really.
our fans.
It's my dad. So I told you that my dog tore her ACL last week,
Yeah,
and so that dog. I mean, to take her out, she's got to go down steps off the front porch or down steps off the back deck where she's got to go to the bathroom. With a torn ACL, she can't do that, and her surgery is still scheduled for a few weeks away. So I had to build a freaking ramp. You know, lumber prices? It's absolutely insane. Think I spent $48 on scrap wood to build this ramp for my freaking dog to go take a piss in the
jeez.
yard. Absolutely
You got to
ridiculous.
make her like one of those chariots that you attach, so she doesn't have to use her back legs, and she just
Oh,
rolls
yeah,
along.
like you just call her wheels.
Get her into a NASCAR event.
Yeah, that's right. They should have like dog chariots where they tie up their back legs and they just have to like I don't know.
It's the Special Olympics for dogs.
Boy.
All right, back to NASCAR. Back to NASCAR.
If I was Kyle Busch, I'd be sweating my balls off right now.
Yeah.
I
Yet
mean,
another race he did not finish.
yeah, he's got a water pump issue. Out of everything, like how do you I don't know the mechanics of these cars, um, but a water pump issue. He needs to buckle down these next few races because what is that? That's Iowa. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's still 9 chances to get this thing done. Uh, I mean, he's
I don't see it.
not doing well.
He's not doing well. I think he's going to call the season a wash. I mean, he's going to go all out for the win every week, but he's not going to get it on points, I don't think. So you have to think if he gets there, it's through a win. And I don't know how many shots he has left. I mean, New Hampshire. He really likes New Hampshire a lot. I think this is one of his last chances that he has to really, contend
I don't know.
at a race.
I think maybe Nashville too, because Nashville's that short track. He does surprisingly well here and there on a short track. I don't know what his stats are at Nashville. That's a few weeks away, so we haven't really looked into that too much. But I think looking at the schedule, he does have a few shots left. I mean, he's still got Darlington, which he's a good racer at. Richmond, okay. And then I would say Nashville and New Hampshire. So that's 4 decent chances for him to come back. But I mean, if he races like he has been, then you could just roll him out. Like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wouldn't
step
spend
one
another
is to
dollar on
finish the
him
race.
this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, uh,
but the Yodas look like trash here.
I
Didn't
know
they?
they
They
started.
were expected. I mean, they're short track,
Hmm.
absolute dominant at short tracks, and none of them really showed up other than Chris Bell. I think he was the only Toyota in the top 10. The next person was Martin Truex at 15.
Speaking of the Martin Truex, we had some news this week.
Yeah, he
He has
retired.
announced his retirement. Yeah,
That's
how do
sad.
we not lead the show with that? What kind of
That is
podcast
true.
are we? But yeah,
Sometimes I forget. I just
I
like to drink. I'm here for the drink.
yeah, he's gone. He's gone after this year. I don't know the specifics on if he's gonna do what Jimmy Johnson does, where maybe here and there charter a car, get
I'm
in
sure
for a
he
little
will.
bit, but
Yeah.
or join the broadcast. Who knows? But
I
I
don't know
think
about
it
that.
was time. It was time for him to come. Yeah, he doesn't have the personality like some of those other guys. I think he'll probably hang it up or go work behind the scenes in NASCAR, like in a like, I don't know, race management type thing or
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
And then you
I
have
think
C.
it's time to
Bell,
go.
Chris Bell with the slip up in the interview too after he announced his retirement.
Yeah.
He says something about Chase Briscoe maybe joining the team.
Ooh, yeah, he goes, "Shit, I wasn't supposed to say anything yet." Well, you guys know. Yeah. So that's a little bit of an exciting one, and, just because we're on the news of NASCAR recently, and we're a little late to this one, but, Stewart Haas Racing is disbanding, and they will, hang it up after this season, and so that leaves a few open cars. So
Yeah, and that's
I
gonna
think,
be exciting to see all these new teams pop up next year.
yeah, I think maybe next week or the week after we'll have to see when time allows for it. But I think we need to break down a like just like a preview or a idea of where we think some of these drivers will fall next year because there's a lot of shakeup. I mean, we already got a few announcements about people signing in different places, few closings, and some retirees. So, and then of course some of the Xfinity Series drivers are really showing up. So who will get their contracts and who will be moving up to play full time with us at the Cup Series? So look out for that. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll have to see. But back to this race. So Blaney, he takes stage one and the race win. Obviously, we already covered that a little bit. But who I was surprised to see up there. Yes, it was only a stage third, but Danny Suarez up there. Which
Ooh.
maybe his win wasn't a fluke. I don't know. Probably it is, but um, it was good to see him race a little bit for I think it was about like 60, 70 laps in the first stage. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, and I think everybody loves Daniel Suarez. I don't know anybody who doesn't like him. And he's always in the booth too during Xfinity races, and he's a good analyst. I'm not gonna lie. And then I'm going to Mexico in like a week, so maybe I'll see him.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's going to be there, not at New Hampshire or Nashville.
No, I'm sure.
I'm sure I'm going to see him.
No, but
So
yeah. So back to that, NASCAR allowed him to because he's a dual citizen, Mexico and the U.S. So NASCAR just allowed him to put the flag on his car.
I feel like that shouldn't have been a ask to be allowed. I think I
Yeah,
feel like
just
you should
do
be
it.
able to put whatever you want.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
mean, didn't we have like a Black Lives Matter one before and like a Pride car and like I mean, it's all about sponsorships. Like
Yeah,
we had the freaking Hamburglar on a car today and you say you can't represent your nationality?
yeah. I didn't even know that would be a news headline,
Yeah.
but I figured I would shout that out. But yeah, Kyle Larson, he was one of my picks last week because he had a lot. He was in the practice, the tire thing
Yeah.
at this track, and so I expected him to do pretty well. And he looked like he had probably the fastest car on the track. He was leading one of the leading cars up in like middle of stage two, and then you got turned, and then you got turned into Denny Hamlin, who Denny Hamlin had a horrific day as well for back to back weeks.
Well, yeah, Lars. I want to break that down a little bit. Larson had a little bit of bad luck, but I'd say it's a little bit on him. How he got put out of this race. The restart at lap 218, he was like right on the edge of making the decision to go top lane, bottom lane. He couldn't really tell. It was so you really had to move to find your groove on this racetrack, but the restarts were favoring the outside, and he decided to go inside with not too terribly much left to go. I mean, yeah, there were still like 125 laps, but still, he was making a push through the field, and he went bottom lane.
Yeah,
They went three wide in front of him, so he gets all congested, sees a little bit of a gap. He's still on the bottom, needs to make it up to the top to stay in pacing with the rest of the crew. And he kind of just got wedged in there. Comes up, gets bumped, and then he turns into the wall, and that'll end his day, which is a shame because, like you said, he was a quick car. But hey,
yeah. I mean,
it
it's a little bit
happens
of
to the
bad
best.
luck. It just all happened pretty quickly. It was just bad timing. It went three wide like almost as soon as that restart happened, and he got hit in the tail. And he didn't expect that car coming. I don't think so. It's bad luck. He probably deserved. He was definitely a top five car all day. Unfortunate, but I think he'll shake it back up at New Hampshire.
You would hope so. I was also high on Austin Dillon, who he was my back half driver, which we always say if they finish in the top 20, that's a good deal. He finished 19th, which is good. Starting 32nd, moving up to 19th, still getting a few points for that. But that's what helped me get to beat you in the shootout this week because you had
Damn.
Larson, who ended up way at the bottom. Of course, I had Hamlin there, who wasn't much better, but he did finish better, 24th. But Austin Dillon brings it away for me. You started a guy who did not race, so that is not good.
Yeah,
We
wasn't that
had
my random pick?
yeah, we had a random pick, and he actually ended up pulling out of the race. David
I
Starr.
think
We
that should be
should
done.
have given you the other guy, like who took his place. We did not because you were you're leading this thing, but it is getting closer, and we will give you a. Actually, I have the numbers here. Um, Let me pull those up. The numbers are Mr. Dick is leading with 3,001 points, and Tex is almost 400 points back at 2,687. But
Nice.
like we saw last year, you can have a 200, 300 point swing all in one race if you pick the right guys. Um, Actually, no, you can't. We dropped it down from 6 drivers to 3, so no, it's gonna take me a lot longer. Yeah, you freaking won. You know what?
No, no, there's
Congratulations, Dick.
a lot of game, a lot of games left in the season,
Yeah,
including playoffs,
because
double points in the
you know what?
playoffs.
Playoffs do go double points, and the way that we do playoffs is at the beginning of the playoffs, we each take one driver who is our bonus driver, and they are our like they no matter what we get them. We don't have any random picks anymore. That is our extra driver, and as soon as they get eliminated, then we no longer get those points. So you pick strategically. Say I pick Christopher Bell, who had another decent day today, finishing fourth, or not today, a few days ago in Iowa. Um, well, if he goes out after the round of 16, then I now only have 2 drivers left for the whole season. So that would really stink. But if you take Chase and he goes all the way, that's mega points. So there is a chance. It's going to come down to playoffs. So I think you are going to be the regular season champ. All right. Well, you want to preview a little bit of New Hampshire, or do
Yeah,
you
let's
want
do a
to talk any
little.
more about Iowa?
No, let's do New Hampshire. It's another shorter track. It's actually very similar to Iowa. It's short, flat. Um, I guess other comparisons like Dover, Martinsville, Phoenix. You got Richmond in there, kind of. So it's kind of interesting how they laid this out in the season. Two very similar tracks back to back. I don't know if I like that, but New Hampshire will be a good one. Kyle Busch, he excels here, so maybe we'll see him come out of the closet, maybe contend for a win, maybe get the win to get into playoffs. I don't have a lot of hope for him. I'm just hoping he finishes a race for once.
Um,
But you saw the Fords look good last week. I expect that same thing, and I saw the Toyota suck last week, so I anticipated them, figuring out what happened last week and excelling this upcoming week.
yeah, like you said, New Hampshire, a relatively short track, about the same distance. Uh, it's going to be very similar. I think that your take on Kyle Busch probably coming back. We started the show with what races I think he will come back. I don't think New Hampshire's the one. I think he has a chance, but after like all these freaking bad races strung together, I think he might be kind of like what you said, like just down and out and say, "Not gonna win this one, boys. Let's start it again next year." But who knows? Could be something. You know what I do see on the radar though? Frickin' rain. So watch out for that. I Hopefully we stay dry. It's Wednesday and the race is until Sunday, so we have plenty of time. And you know how summer weather is; it can pop up or go away real quick.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think that
And
after
Kyle, I want to say Kyle Busch hasn't been happy with his team. He even came out in a press conference saying like he doesn't know. He'll take any offer. He'll play whatever offers on the table for next year. He doesn't know if he's going to be at the same team, and I don't know if that's good for the team either. Because the team is like he doesn't even expect to be here. Why should we try our hardest for him? You know.
yeah, that's
At
kind
least
of
if
like
you,
one of those.
you could think like, hey, anything's on the table for next year. You could think that, but I don't know if you should come out and say like, yeah, come out publicly and say, hey, yeah,
Yeah,
anything happen.
I mean, you know that he's not the guy that's been known for his sportsmanship and his take accountability attitude. So yeah, I could definitely see how he could rub his teammates the wrong way, and people stop, you know, trying as hard for him. Who I like, who had a pretty decent showing today, got the bronze today. I keep saying today.
Yeah, oh my
Earlier
god.
this week. Today we're talking about Iowa.
That shot is really
Yeah,
getting to
why
your
don't I
head.
take another one and maybe I'll loosen up. This
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
tequila. I like Chase Elliott on this one. I think he is finally out of his slump. Um, of like, yeah, last year it was truly a slump. He started kind of slow again this year, and then really gained his confidence back, and is now probably number two, I would say, in the Hendrick garage. And to be number two in that garage is a phenomenal feat. I kind of like him here. He's just quick.
Yeah, and, I feel like getting that win and breaking through this season and, ending the cold streak really added to his confidence, and now he could just race, freely and do kind of whatever he wants. So I do like Chase. I'm not really high on the Hendricks. Again, I knew last week Carson would do well just because of the extra practice. I didn't see Chase being a top 3 car, but
I didn't either.
that's pretty impressive. Maybe they could back it up again this week. I don't know. I think the Toyotas and Fords look good this week, so I don't know if the Hendricks can keep up. But I want to talk about Josh Berry. This
What?
guy has been phenomenal as of late. Phenomenal for being a lower tier driver. He has a 7th place at Iowa, 3 at the All Star Open, 3 at Darlington, 14th and 15th at Kansas and Dover, 11th at Richmond, and 12th at Bristol. He is lighting up the short tracks. And second last year at Richmond, by the way. You know,
Hmm.
he looked great last week, and I think he could follow that up again. The books already have him top 10. He's at even money at a top 10.
Really?
And I don't know if I really like that, but bet him outright. He's at plus 3,300, 33 to 1 odds here for an outright, and I think he could prove he's proven contending at these short tracks. And at New Hampshire, you said weather might be coming into play. I think I would look into him for a little bit of an underdog outright.
So not you. They have a matchup here: Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Versus Josh Berry. Are you riding Berry there?
Yeah, Stenhouse looked good as well at Iowa, but he is very streaky. He's not been like, in contention top 10, top 15 car every week like Josh Berry is. So yeah, I would probably stray away from Ricky Stenhouse, and I think his odds will be inflated because of his top 5 finish at Iowa. So yeah, I would definitely pick Josh Berry.
You want to just go through some of these other featured matchups real quick?
Sure.
All right. We already talked about it. I think I know. Well, I know what way I want to go with this, but Chase Elliott versus Denny Hamlin. I'm sticking with Elliott. Although you never know with Hamlin, he is a freaking dog, and I think he had a bad
Hamlin,
race. He doesn't put two bad races in a row usually.
not usually, and he had a bad race at Sonoma as well. So I can't go against Hamlin having 3 bad races as of late. I think the Toyotas are going to get back into it. I think Denny Hamlin being on par with the greatest driver in this year, Kyle Larson. I think you can't bet against the greatest drivers. So
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin, I think, bounces back. Chase Elliott, I think, still be up there. I think it'll be close. I think both of them could be top 5. It's whoever edges out the other guy.
Right.
So that's definitely a hard one. I would stay away from betting wise, but I think it would be a really cool matchup to watch throughout
That's
the race.
that's definitely one that you'd want to go like side by side cameras on, not
Yeah,
really put your money on it. Put your eyes on it instead. This one, I think I'm gonna do this just purely for the nostalgia. I'm going Martin Truex Jr. over Chris Bell here, just because he announced his retirement. Maybe he's got a little chip on his shoulder. He wants to finish the season strong. He has not made the playoffs yet. I'm not saying that he's gonna win this thing outright, but I think he's gonna try to make this big push at the end of the season for the playoffs. Um, I believe the last time I checked, he was the first person in on points. So I think if he strings along a few good finishes, plays the stage point game a little bit here, he's gonna slide his way into the playoffs. but he still is capable of a win.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up that matchup because that's a matchup in my Dick's picks. But I took the other side. I took Bell.
Did you?
And yes,
He's
Truex is
been
really good at
strong.
this track in recent history. But he just announced his retirement, like you said. I think there's
It
just
could
too
go
much
either way.
media around this. Yeah,
Yeah.
right now it might be a distraction. Maybe after New Hampshire, he'll have everything gone now. It's in the rearview mirror, and he could get back into racing, and try to make it in the playoffs and go out with a bang. But
Bang
Truex
bang.
hasn't shown really anything all year. Bell fourth last week. He won this race in 2022. Won at Phoenix. It's not the best comparison of the track, but it's flatter. And he has 3 more top 10s at short tracks this year. Bell is just always in the mix, and he didn't have a good showing at Iowa, and he still finished fourth. So he's just always up there, and he's always like grinding to be a top 5, top 10 car. So I think you take Bell over Truex at -120.
Nice. Like it. And then finally, the last one is Brad Keselowski versus Ryan Blaney. I think he defends. He comes back to back, just like he's gonna do in the championship this year. Ooh, heard it here first. No, I'm just kidding. I don't actually think that, but I think he does go back, not back to back to win, but 2 good finishes here in a row. A win at a relatively similar track. Then they're racing this week at the USA today, 301, which is awesome that they're doing 301 instead of 300. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
what was the one
I'm
extra
gonna
mile?
blame
I
you.
guess just to edge out, everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know if it means anything or not, but what do you got on the Blaney
Yeah,
Keselowski?
I think you have to go with Blaney. He had just won last week at a similar track. You can't not take Blaney. I mean, Kez has been good, pretty good this year, but I mean, Blaney, come on, championship winner. You have to go with him, especially coming off a win.
Yeah,
He's finally back, and this is Ford's track, so let's do that.
Ford baby. Fix or repair daily. All right, so New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We already alluded to it. It's a shorter track, 301 laps, 318 miles. Presented by USA Today. So we have them to thank you for Wordle and our crosswords. So thank you USA Today. This is not an ad,
I
but
do
I
the
do like
Wordle
Wordle.
every day, so
I you do it every day.
yeah,
I
I
do
do.
it every once in a
Me
while.
and my coworker races to see who can get it faster.
That's
And
cute.
we have a
You
spreadsheet
guys are
going on. We have a point system.
yeah,
It's
you
alright.
guys are stuck in what 2020 or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
cool.
don't do work at
Cool,
work,
cool,
so
cool, 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 cool,
what do you
cool,
think?
cool, cool. I never got into the Sudoku. I mean,
I can't. I'm terrible at it.
I think I'm smart enough
Oh wait, no,
maybe.
I was thinking of crossword. I'm terrible at crossword.
Oh, I like
I
crossword.
like the numbers. I like Sudoku.
Okay, this is awkward. No, I actually I like the words cuz I just I like when I don't like when I write it out like with pen and paper. I like the one where it doesn't tell you that it's wrong, but like what's wrong, but I don't know, I can visualize it better if I like am typing it and then back it up, then type it, then back it up. Like I don't know. Um but yeah, I like it. There was a time where I was doing it every day for actually the USA Today. But yeah, so, USA, baby, USA. Speaking of USA, we got Olympic trials starting this week. We have some pretty cool swimming. If you like racing, racing is fun no matter where it is. So it's pretty exciting to go watch swimming in the Colt Stadium. They built a pool in the freaking field. So
Indianapolis,
yeah, the Indianapolis, what is that called? Lucas Oil Stadium.
Lucas.
So pretty freaking cool. And then I think track starts like the following week or something like that. But I like watching this because then you can really see like the U.S. and then once you get to the Olympics, especially in track, you're gonna have like the Nigerians and the Jamaicans and all those kind of. I mean, not those kind of people. I mean like not Americans
Foreigners,
win those
yes.
things. Yeah, like but then of course swimming we usually
Yeah,
dominate
swimming
anyway.
we
But
dominate that shit.
although I heard Australia's freaking awesome this year, so who knows? Anything can happen. Maybe we don't win swimming, but we'll win some. We already had some world records fall at our Olympic trials swimming, but I th I think it was 2 weeks ago was Australia's, and they broke world records too, so we're really fighting this year.
When are we getting racing
Exciting.
in the Olympics? When's
Um, 2027, non-Olympic year.
okay. It would be cool to get, like, the top racers in
No,
each
if the
country. Like,
frickin' Formula 1 guys would all win it.
you think Formula 1's better than, like, NASCAR or IndyCar?
Well, it depends
And
what kinda
how would
car
you
they're
also
racing
score
on what
that?
kind of track.
Yeah, it would be cool to, like, have
You'd have
a
to have
race
a
that is not
series,
similar to anything, but,
like,
like, all the racers
go-karts?
maybe, like, a 24-hour or something. I don't know how that would work.
No. No, you
And
can't
I
do
don't know how, like, you would take a NASCAR guy over a IndyCar guy for America. Like, it'd be hard to, like, settle the points there.
we should make them all ride bicycles, but, like, not like a bike race, but I don't
I
I
know
don't
where you're
know.
going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. But yeah, so that's what else is going on in the world right now. I think we are ready. You went over all your Dick's picks?
Yeah, I got one more. Justin
Okay, let's
Haley.
do that, and then let's do our shootout and call
Yeah,
it a day.
Justin Haley looked good at Iowa. He came in 13th. But I'm gonna go with the top 10 here. Plus 500. Plus 500. 5-1 odds. He's gonna come in the
500.
top 10, top 25% of the freaking race cars. He's been good as of late too. 13th at Iowa. Illinois, he came in ninth. Darlington, he came in ninth. Um, he came in fourth at the All Star Open, but that's not really a comparable track. But I'm just saying, throwing that in there because like he's contending top 5 car there. And then 17th and 18th at Bristol and Kansas. So that's just a few cars off top 10. But what I'm saying is he has been a top 10 car. He's been a top 5 car, and at shorter tracks, he's been looking good. So Justin Haley to be a top 25% of the cars plus 500, you have to take that, I think, just based on the value there.
I like it.
And
I have nothing else
this
to
is
say
the
about
week.
that
I
one.
feel freaking amazing about these picks. I urge everybody to get on these. At least do some type of variation of these picks because I think you're going to win a lot of money. But I'm
Hmm.
not giving betting advice. This is just personal opinion. We are not a advice giving podcast.
Or not?
Nope, we drink.
Oh,
We're an
okay, yeah,
alcoholic
that's true. You wanna take another
podcast.
one?
Yes, do it.
Alright, one more, and let's get into our picks. You have first one today, so think about it when you're down in that bottle of liqueur. Is it
Really
liqueur
cool.
or liquor? Like,
Um,
actual, like,
no, it was liquor. I'm not taking a shot of liqueur. Who the fuck do you think I am?
um, I think I know exactly who you are, and that's why I had to ask.
Yes, yes. So New Hampshire we got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yowza. Yeah, so I don't know how you could stray. You know what? I got this. I got this. Christopher Bell. He's just
What?
always a top 5 car. Always top 5.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't have much else to say. He came in top 4 and he didn't even play that well. So
Alright, well, I already said it, who I was high on. I'm high on Chase. Chase all the way. It's not even close for me. It actually is close. There's a ton of guys that have a chance to win here. We didn't talk too much about strategy here and what the track is gonna give you, but just based on he's trending upwards on the year, and so I'm going with Chase. Following Chase, I am going with the Now this one's hard. You almost convinced me about Barry, but I think he's actually not a back half driver this time. Is that right? Is
yeah,
that what you have
I
on your
think the
list?
books got him.
He's above.
They got his odds. I think
So
he's middle
usually
of the
he would
pack.
definitely be a low guy, but I'll stay away from him. I honestly wouldn't have looked at him until you gave me a pretty good talking to about him.
Yeah, I think we
So
should switch up the order on when we do these because I'm tired of giving you the picks that you should do.
I know maybe we should lead the show with it and then
Lead.
talk about why.
Yeah,
Wait,
maybe
that's way
we'll
better
think
because
about
we
it.
end up repeating ourselves about the
Yeah.
same shit at the end of the episode. All right, hey, look for
Not a
it
shabby idea.
going into or what is that? Going into Nashville or yeah, I guess that'd be into Nashville.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so then I'm gonna stick with a guy that has a I don't know, buddy. This is hard. I guess I'll go with Stenhouse Jr. because he was kind of on the rise. With the fifth place. He might be starting a little bit of a comeback. Hasn't won since what last? I think it was last Daytona. Not last, like 2 years ago. Last year's Daytona, first race of the year. But he's stringing together a little bit here. So I'm gonna go with him as a back half. I just want him to top 20, and that'll do it for me.
That sounds pretty good. Let me go with a little bit of Carson Hocevar. I'm really just itching for him to play well. He looks like such a fast car in qualifying sometimes, and like he looks like he can contend, but he's just not doing it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. And I love the number 77. So I think
Okay.
for him, I think he'll be a little bit better here at a short track.
All right. I like it. All
And
right.
he had a 14th place at Iowa last week, so
It's not bad. Not bad at
I'll
all.
see him back it up.
Back that thing up. Back it up. All right, 36 drivers here. We're gonna go random here. So the first one is you. For some reason, I can't find the normal thing that I usually use, so I have them all based on I forget what, but they're ranked in some order, and it goes 1 through 36, so it's still random. So with that being said, generating to number 16. That's got to be someone decent. 16 would be Todd Gilliland. Not
Okay.
horrible. Definitely a driver.
He is a driver. He races NASCAR
He
sometimes.
races cars most days, and not too shabby. Mine would be
He's kind
okay.
of similar to Carson Hocevar. He came in 12th last week, so I expect him to be, running that back. Hopefully,
All right.
because he's on my team.
I've got Denny Hamlin, which is a cheat code because he could win any race. That's all I got to
Except
say about him.
this one is gonna suck.
You suck, you bastard. Can you remember when we started our first podcast and we were just called the Drunk Bastards? I'm glad we made it this far because now we're just drunk bastards that talk about one topic.
It's much easier to prepare.
No, we just
No,
showed
it's
up
not.
hammered last time.
Yeah,
We just showed up and we
maybe
just
we should do that
went for
more.
it. I'm telling you, we needed
Yeah,
to
we got.
bring that out a few more times. You know what we need to convince NASCAR to do is hold more Saturday races where we can get absolutely blackout drunk and talk about the race while we're doing it, and just go live. And then
Yeah,
it can be
this
a true like drunk
this
like
past Iowa race should have been a freaking Saturday night race. What the hell is a Sunday night race doing?
I hate
Nobody's
Sunday
watching
nights.
that.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna be in bed by the time the thing ends. By the time the second stage ends.
Yeah, I can't even get drunk. It's a school day.
Yeah. I actually don't work the next day. I have to get on a flight, but not till like 11 a.m. So
Whatever.
that's gonna be cool. I'm coming down to your neck of the woods. So maybe we'll hang out. Maybe. Probably not.
All right, let's end this shit.
Anyway, hey, join us next week. Hopefully, you guys have a phenomenal weekend. Watch NASCAR on USA Network for the New Hampshire Motor Speedway USA Today 301. See you next week.
America.